Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Nursery to Veracity. In this tutorial we are going to study list and matrix. We have already studied that there are total 6 types of data structures. They are vectors, list, matrix, array, data frames and factors. In this video we are covering list and matrix.
Data structure, list and matrix. What is list? Number 1. Data stored in list are one-dimensional. As we have studied in vector stores data in one-dimensional, so is the list. List stores data in one-dimensional. And elements that are stored in the list can be of different data types. In vectors, we have studied that the elements that are stored in vectors should be of single data type, but in list you can store elements of different data types. Number 2. Our list consists of an ordered collection of number, that is the components, and components are always numbered. So we have taken a variable that is LST, wherein it is having 4 components and each component is having its number. It's the sequence they are stored in. And every component is of different color. That states that this is of different data type. It can be a character, it can be numerical, it can be a boolean, and so on. The elements that are stored in list can be of different data types, and every component has a number. Therefore, they are known as ordered collection of objects. Right? Number 4. Lists also provide a way to return the results of a statistical computing. When you perform statistical computing, you work on a numerous amount of data, wherein it has various data types. List is the only data structure that contains the elements from different data types. Hence, it helps in statistical computing. Let's take an example. We have taken a variable LST, wherein using the list function, we have entered few parameters. So these parameters are name, number, friends and friends age. The first parameter contains the character value, second parameter contains the numeric value, and third parameter contains the numeric value. But there are more than one numeric value, so this is the vector. So the third element contains the vector. Number 5. In the above example, if LST3 is a vector subscripted array, then 3 1 will be its first entry. That means what this 3 and 1 defines? This 3 defines the third element in the list and 1 defines the first element present in the third element of the list. That means the third element of the list is friend's age and first element is 29. Right. Coming to the list, we have taken a variable LST, wherein using the list function, I'm entering the parameters or the components. The first component is name, where I've assigned the value as Phoebe. Number of friends is 5, that is the numeric value, and best friends is equals to true. This is the logical value, and friends age is the vector value. So let's see how it works. Now we are running the statement LST. So these values got assigned into the single list. We will see whether the values got assigned or not. So in the list we can see that we have name component that contains value as Phoebe, number friends that is 5, best friend true, and their ages, friends age and these numbers. So you can easily assign various data types into a single list. Right. There is a different way. You first assign the value and then you enter the parameter into your function. So here we are assigning Rachel in the name variable. Number of friends is equals to 5 and friends ages is the vector and we are assigning the value. Now we have taken the variable name as LSTS, wherein using the list function we are entering the parameter. But here we are not assigning the values because we have already assigned the values earlier. Now we will run the list function, the values that got entered into the LSTS variable. So we can see that the first component of the list contains the Rachel, that is the name value. The second component contains the number of friends, that is 5 here. And the third component contains the friend's age, and these are the values. So guys, it is very easy to assign values in a list, and you can enter various data types into a single list. Now coming back to the slides, what is matrix? Number 1. A matrix is an extension of vectors in 2D Now what are vectors? Vectors store data in 1D and the data stored in vector are of similar data types. But in matrix, we can store data in two-dimensional, but you can store a single data type in a single matrix. As the second statement states, a matrix is used to represent 2D data of single type. So it contains data of a single data type, right? Third statement states, a clean way to generate a matrix is to use the matrix function. Obviously, we generate list using the list function, so we generate the matrix using the matrix function. And the parameters that are assigned in the matrix are data, number of rows, number of columns. By row is used since when we enter the data into a matrix, it enters column wise. So it will fill the first column first, then the second column, then the third column, and so on. But if we want that the data should enter into the matrix row wise, we need to use the parameter by row and we need to make its value as true. Dim names helps us assigning the name to the each and every column and each and every row. Fifth point says, it takes the following arguments like data, and our object could be a vector. N rows, these are the desired number of rows in a matrix. N col, these are the desired number of columns in a matrix. By row, to populate either by column or by row. So by column is by default, we have already studied. So if we want the elements to enter into the matrix by row, we need to use this parameter. And dim names, the names assigned to your rows and columns. Number 6. It is possible to transform any data structure into matrix form using as.matrix function. So if you're having any list or any vector and you want to convert it into a matrix, so you need to use is as.matrix function. Number 7 state that using I, j will retrieve the elements for the ith row and jth column. So if you want to retrieve a particular value from the matrix, you need to use the matrix name and then square brackets row number, column number. So let's look into its practical implementation. Matrix. So what I have done is I have taken the parameters first. So we have taken the data, n row, number of rows, number of columns. So we have taken just 3 parameters first, right? The data contains the values 1 to 16. Number of rows, we want 4 number of rows. Number of columns, we need 4 number of columns. Now using the matrix function, we are entering the parameter data, n row, and column. So we will run the statement and using the matrix function, we can see that the data got assigned into the matrix. Number of rows, we are having 4. Number of columns, we are having 4. And data has been entered into the matrix column wise, right? It's entering first column, then second column, then third column. Now we will see how by row works. Now we will run the statement by row, which is equals to 2, and running this matrix 1 function, we have added by row here, and we can see that using this by row is equals to true, the data that has been entered into the matrix is row wise. It's filling the first row first, then the second row, then the third row, and so on. So you can easily compare these two matrices the way they entered the data. So this is how by row works. Coming to the parameter dimension names, I want to assign my row names some numeric values and column names some character values. So here I am using my list function wherein I am adding my vector row dot names and column dot names. So a list can contain data of various data types. So this list will help us assigning the value to the dimension names. So there are 2 ways you can assign the values to the dimension names. Either you assign the data earlier and then you just pass the parameter name, or in the dim name using the list function, you can pass the vector and its value, then another vector and its value. So both of them works very well. Now we will run this row dot names and col dot names. So these are the values we want to assign it into our row names and column names. And the dim names will contain both of these values. So we will run the statement. Now this is the one way you can store data into dim name, and this is the second way. You use the list function, and within the list function you assign the values to your variables, right? Now I'm running the matrix function and we will see how this dim names work. So after running the matrix, we can see that we have got our row names as 1, 2, 3, 4 and column names as A, B, C, D. Row names 1, 2, 3, 4, column names A, B, C, D, right? So guys, this is very easy to apply. Try it by yourself. You'll definitely get this. Now you can also assign the value within the matrix. So here we have assigned the values. N row is equals to 4, n col is equals to 4, by row is equals to 2, and dimension name is equals to list, row and column, wherein we have already assigned its value above here, right? So we will run the statement. It works similarly, right? See, so the data got assigned here is this ABCD, and this 1, 2, 3, 4 is from here rows, right? So coming to the next function, that is as dot matrix, we have taken lists, LSTS, this here, right? So this is the list variable. Now I want to convert it into my matrix. So what I do is I'll use as dot matrix function. Within that I'll pass the variable name, that is LSTS. Now we will see how this list gets converted into the matrix. We are running the statement. See, it has made a matrix 3 by 1. So in 1, 1 it has assigned the value as Rachel, 2, 1 it has assigned the value as 5, 3, 1 it has assigned the value as numeric and 5. Now coming to the function where we want to search a particular element from the matrix. So I've taken this matrix 3 over here and I'll run this first, and I wanted to see what is present at the third row and third column. So I'll run this M3, 3. This is the ith position and this is the jth position. So this is row and this is column, and we will run the statement, and we got this 11th value. So this is very easy to understand and very easy to implement as well.
So guys, I hope you understood the concept. In case you find any issues, you can write the comment in the comment box, and you can email us on nur2var@gmail.com.
Thank you guys. Thanks for watching our video. Stay tuned. Please like, share and subscribe. Do press the bell icon to get the latest update. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and LinkedIn. And for any queries, you can email us on nur2var@gmail.com. Thank you.